Hey y'all, welcome to the technical demo portion of the review. Figure I would start this portion of the review by starting the vehicle so you can see the load time that it takes to get this Tesla screen booted up for use of air and controls of your music and other functionalities. And upon load up, this is the screen that I've set up for my functionality. This background here between these two ribbons is built in a app called Car Launcher. This is a third-party app. What it enables us to do is set the background color here to be a real dark color, which is really beneficial for nighttime driving. The darker we could have this as far as light projection, the better. It's really bright and it could cause some issues at night when it's on a really light background back there. Secondly, what it allows us to do is organize our most used apps on the outside here, so we could hit these with the touch of a button. It has a speedometer. And then down here you see this ribbon. This ribbon controls the air conditioning. You hit a button there, pulls up this control panel. In this control panel you can control air between sides, front and rear, and it's pretty responsive. Just got it on and off. Change your temps, and then after a few seconds of not using it, the control panel will slide back down out of the way. Up here you have another ribbon. This is a kind of a shortcut ribbon that was included on the main operating system. I can't edit this or change it, it's just here. You got navigation. This navigation is connected to Google Maps, so whenever I hit this, it goes right to Maps. So this is a little redundant, but it is what it is. Radio, your normal AM FM. Music, you can download music onto the tablet or also use a USB stick. Bluetooth connectivity for streaming music and also for calls. Got a microphone up here in the roof. App list, this is where we go to download apps that aren't on the tablet already. So you go to your app list, and then when you're in your app list, you'll just go to your Play Store. You open up Play Store, and then you could download whatever apps you want to download onto the tablet. Come over here, you could download movies as well for entertainment and then watch those. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities on this as well. Have it hooked up through a USB, so that way you could have your device controlled on here instead of this. I prefer to have it all just local natively here, and what I use for that is Spotify for my music. And within here, what I've learned, you could download songs into Spotify within the app. If you have a playlist or something like that you wanted to have on here, just connect this to the internet, download that onto the tablet, and then you'll be able to have that music at any time on the tablet, whether you have service or not, like you're connected to a hotspot or anything. So you'll always be able to play your music you have downloaded. One drawback on this, you got to be careful when you do disconnect your battery for any type of service. It will reset this application, so you'll need to come back in here and re-download it, or you'll end up out on your favorite trail and not be able to have your music downloaded, which is a total bummer. Talked about the Bluetooth music, pretty standard connected Bluetooth, streaming music. Got controls on the steering wheel as well that connect all through that, and you're able to change everything as needed without having an extra tablet actually. Next on it, we'll go into navigation. Have Gaia Maps downloaded for off-road navigation. Awesome tool to have. Use it a lot as we've been out exploring, whether it was at the Outer Banks in North Carolina, Land Between the Lakes up in Kentucky. It's been a great tool to have to track where we've been, and also to navigate different trails and track our movements. Decently responsive. It does a lot in this app, so it's not super great, like perfect, but I would give it like an 8 out of 10 on responsiveness. But you can see where we've downloaded and or ran our own maps and waypoints and Land Between the Lakes. This is an area that I explore a lot of around my home turf, I guess. And so one thing about this too, when you're downloading maps onto this, I would recommend downloading the maps to your phone or your PC first, and then uploading them into Gaia on one of those devices, and then just hooking this device up to Wi-Fi and opening your application. What that's going to do when you open that app is it's going to call up to the cloud and pull those maps down to this tablet, which just makes it a lot easier to not have to download things on this tablet. And what that's going to do is that's going to preserve the processing power and keep a lot of stuff off of it, which is going to keep it running at a good speed. So that covers a lot of the Gaia information as far as how we use it. One other thing on this is whenever you turn the car off, it will reset the application. And so if you're on like long trips, 2 or 3 day trips, and you're using this to be your primary mapping for Gaia, whenever you get gas and stuff, maybe just don't turn the car all the way off. Once you disconnect that battery from it, you will have to restart any recordings if you're doing recordings, things like that. So when I'm doing recordings, I normally record on my phone if I'm recording a track. And then I'll just use this for my navigation of where I'm trying to go. That way I don't have to restart the recording a lot, and it has a one track recording. That's really nice compared to having 4 or 5 different tracks, because you're turning your car on and off every time you stop to go check something out. Coming back to the main screen, going to Google Maps. Let me see if my hotspot's on it. Probably isn't. It's not. So it's pulling up a map that's been downloaded already. I have my home area downloaded onto the tablet. I'm going to connect to Wi-Fi, and I'm going to actually show y'all one glitch that is pretty repeatable on here, because I told you I'm going to be honest, and we're going to show all of the good and all of the bad on this tablet. So my hotspot's connected. We're going to just pull up and go to any location. Most recent one, Martin's Barbecue Joint. It's some good barbecue if you're in the Middle Tennessee area. We're going to go ahead and get directions here. A little bit of traffic today.
Head northeast.
So the tablet's going to take us not where we are when it first opens up the map. Has a really tough time finding the first initial GPS that it needs to connect to, I guess. I'm not sure what it is. But all I have to do here, and then it has like India, China, Mongolia, is open the settings, and then I back out of the settings. And it puts me right where I need to be here on the map. So I don't know why it does that, but it does. If you know why, help me out. Shoot me a link. Tell me how to fix it. That is one consistent glitch that I have seen. Other than this consistent glitch, the only thing that I've seen happen on this is occasionally it'll skip a song. It'll open or close an application without me making that happen. Not sure where that comes from, but it just happens. It happens probably about once every 2 weeks, I would say, once every 2 or 3 weeks. We've done a long trip, 14 hours. It happened 1 to 2 times on that trip. So not enough to really annoy you, but enough to where you do take notice of it. And we've just tried to make a joke about it, laugh it off, get the song back on, and then go back with our day. I know some people don't have that ability. I get it. Moving through here, YouTube TV. Another great pro for this tablet is being able to connect to Wi-Fi or a hotspot, and you could stream whatever movies or whatever thing you want, whatever application you want from live TV. So that's pretty awesome, pretty dope. Oop. Actually, let's just go ahead, give y'all a little treat of what it looks like. This is running off my hotspot, by the way.
Whether it's DeAndre Hopkins or Stephon Diggs, these guys
so
have really
that's a pretty good picture.
And did a really nice job. So I think that Josh
pretty clear.
Has joined the elite and is somebody that you can start each and every week. All right, MJD, Steve, unplugged your router. He was able to beat you to James Robinson on the waiver wire, and now you need a running back. Who's going to get 25 or more?
That's going to close that out. So that was YouTube TV. Other applications don't have the best positioning of the actual movie or whatever you're trying to watch, but YouTube TV has it right in the middle. It's nice. So we've used the application a lot on long trips, keep the kids entertained after maybe being at a mall or something for a really long time before COVID came, and everybody's tired, throw some cartoons on, everybody cheers up a lot quicker. These are the primary uses that I use this unit for. There's one other area that I use it for, and I want to show that to you before we sign off and get over to the next portion of the conversation. I'm gonna connect my Wi-Fi to my OBD2 reader, and then I'm gonna open up my app list, and I'm gonna go to the Torque app. And the Torque app is going to actually connect to this OBD2 reader, and it's going to be able to give us real-time information on the car's diagnostics. So if we have any check engine lights, we can go into our fault codes here, identify what fault codes are associated with our check engine lights, be able to research that and identify what may be wrong with the vehicle in a pretty quick notice. You can also open up this real-time information portion of the Torque app, and it's going to be able to give us real-time information, anything that comes out of this OBD2 connector as information, which is, it can read your voltage, coolant temperatures, transmission fluid temperatures, all kinds of different, actually, I don't know about the transmission temperature or not. That one might not be right. But you could look at all these different things and be able to identify what's going on with your vehicle if you do have any issues, and from there be able to triage anything you're happening, or be able to, really just have a better understanding of what's going on in the vehicle. Hope you enjoyed the demo. If you're still hanging with me, it's probably because you want to learn about how we purchased it and what the install process was like. So I'll jump right in. We got the PX6 model from Rhino Radios. Rhino Radios is a US-based distributor. The device actually came from China. It took about 6 weeks to get here, and when it got here, there were no instructions in English, so we had to do a little bit more research in order to get everything set up, and really just before we can get it set up, be confident that we're going to be able to set it up and we're not going to be without AC, heat, or music for any long amount of time waiting for that to happen. So did a lot more research. I probably did about a month of research before I jumped in and did the actual job. Spent about a weekend installing it. I don't think I needed that long. Now I could probably do it in a couple hours, but I planned for a weekend, so I had plenty of time for any type of things I might have to change up, any research I had to do, anything like that. So got it in about a day. Everything was working. Had to splice 4 wires. That was clearly called out in the I Hate Mud write-up that I used for the install. I'll have that in the link in the descriptions, so y'all can go to that if you want to do some more research on the actual install. I didn't do an install video at that time. I don't really feel like taking everything out and doing an install video. So if someone out there wants to collaborate and do an install video with me, I'd be happy to come out and watch you install it and help out where I can and get a video for everybody to check out on that. It's pretty easy. Once you get that in, it's all working, then you basically set it up like a new tablet or new cell phone. For an Android device, you got to get your Google account loaded in there. Once that Google account's loaded in, then you can start adding applications, and then once you have your applications in, you can personalize the tablet to how you're going to use that tablet when your everyday life or adventure life or whatever it's going to be. Overall, the pros do outweigh the cons. I'm going to talk about the things that do happen that aren't supposed to happen in it. There are a few glitches. Randomly, I'll have a song that advances to the next song. I'll have an application that just shuts down. I'll have an application that just starts. This happens maybe once every 2 weeks. On a 14-hour drive, we had it happen maybe 1 or 2 times. Not enough to be like, oh my gosh, this is annoying, but definitely enough to where you notice that it's happened and you got to go through and change something back. That change back literally is just opening the application back up and pressing play, or something small like that. So it's not a total inconvenience where we have to shut the car off and turn it back on or anything like that. Just know if it's a phantom touch on the screen, don't know what it might be, but something happens and that closes down sometimes. Like I said, on average, over 9 months, it happens every few weeks, once, twice. And on a 14-hour road trip, it happened, I think, 1 or 2 times on that entire time we were in the vehicle. So that, I thought that was pretty good for what it is. And I mean, it's basically beta technology, in my opinion. It's not fully baked, right? It's It's just not quite there yet. But for that purpose, you know what it is, and I think you're buying it at a price that reflects that. At $500 for this, you know, that's not a very steep price when you look at cell phones nowadays, are $800, $900, if not more. So for a $500 device, the glitches that it does have are very, 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 very minimal for the pros that we get and the use and functionality that's increased inside the Land Cruiser. The other bad thing that it does is the maps issue that you saw in the technical demo. That is consistent. I don't know how to fix that. Every time I open the map and start a new navigation, I have to do that whole process. If you know how to fix that, let me know. Happy to try to figure that out with somebody as well. Would love to get that out. Like I said, pros outweigh the cons. It's modern. It's updated the Land Cruiser to 2020. You got your hotspot connectivity in there to be able to do whatever searches you want. You can entertain the kids with YouTube TV. You can take your calls. I can run WebEx Teams or WebEx or Microsoft Teams or any app I need to in there for business collaboration. It's just a great upgrade, and it's what would be, I think, what we all would expect in a vehicle nowadays as far as technology goes and what we see in our everyday lives. That wraps up the review portion that I have. If you have any other questions or anything like that, give me a shout, comment, message me, email me, just get a hold of me. I'll do what I can to help. If it's about the Land Cruiser, I can probably point you in the right direction. If it's another vehicle, I'll do what I can to try to get you into the hands of the right person. I'll be doing some more reviews like this. I'll have about probably one every 2 to 3 weeks I'm going to try to do. So if you have a product out there that you would like to have reviewed, give me a shout. Let's collaborate. Some other reviews, other movies and things I'll be doing around the media content are some point of view mountain biking. Mountain biking is a passion of mine, a recent passion. I am learning mountain biking. I've only been doing it for probably 4 to 6 months. So it's going to be fun to watch it and watch me progress and kind of keep track of that progression as I, enjoy the sport over the rest of my life, I would assume. And then I'm going to have a really big video that we're going to put out for the Red Clay Rally. That's going to be a good storyline video to where you'll be able to see kind of what our prep looks like for the rally, what we're doing to the vehicles, how we're prepping those vehicles, get a little bit of strategy as to how we're preparing for the rally from a data point perspective, what data we're looking at, how we're using that in the rally, how we're using our technology in the rally as well. So that'll be pretty cool to learn. A lot of that stuff is basic expedition type of planning. So it's kind of putting those same aspects of planning into this. That'll be big. We're going to do some live Instagram stories as well during that time. So follow me on Tennessean_adventurer and you'll be able to keep up with us at the rally in real time. And then I'd say in 2 to 3 weeks after the rally, we'll have all the content together and hopefully be able to put a good video together that'll be a lot of enjoyment for everybody. So be sure to subscribe. Stay tuned with me. Look forward to putting out more content for y'all to enjoy. And yeah, I'll see you out there.